So very good morning to all the viewers who are watching my video at present. This is Niasis Party from the team of Miss Anais. So in this video I'll be saying or I'll be talking all the detailed information about regarding the project which I have said in the previous video about the introduction part. So how this project usually utilized in the daily in our day-to-day life in this present scenario of COVID-19. So all the things are even prior necessary, all the things are even prior important for manipulating the things, for processing the things, and for authenticating the things. So without wasting time, I'll be explaining everything in detail to you in this video, and I even have said that I will be explaining in all the languages regarding this project because this project is very important for all of us. So I'll be saying you in English, Hindi, Odia, as well as in Telugu too. So without wasting time, I'll be explaining you in detail about regarding this project in English without having my camera on. So this project is all about medical data monitoring system using Raspberry Pi and LabVIEW through Internet of Things, or we have said about cloud. Okay, cloud computing will be using in this video. So about myself, I am Snehasis Pradi, an engineer from Electronic and Communication Department. I even have done my project on this and my final year project on this, and this project has been approved by different institute even for demonstrating for the design category as well as for implementation category. It has been approved. So this is all about myself. So what is the different content in which we are going to discuss on this project? So first is installation of Raspberry Pi operating system into Raspberry Pi. So unless and until we will not be installing the project requirement, we will not be processing that. So it is not even been possible, right? So then after verification of medical equipment sensor through Python programming. So once we get installation of the Raspberry Pi, we will be installing the verification equipment. So like medical equipments like sensors, temperature sensor and ECG sensor through Python programming, that also too important, right? Then after measuring the sensor data through Internet of Things in the Raspberry Pi and displaying graphically in LabVIEW interface, it means that the fetched data from the sensors will be sent it to internet, and from internet we will be displaying in LabVIEW. So it is all about ISIL. So SIL means sensor, I means internet, L means LabVIEW, or we can say that software interface where we are going to display the medical equipments. Okay, then after programming design and its inner interface through software implementation, that's too even important. It means that the LabVIEW programming or the design of LabVIEW. Then after screening in virtual display in LabVIEW interface. So these are the content in which my project usually had displayed or had been processed. Okay, so then after yes, then after when we discuss about what the telemedical is or the telehealth is, so it is all about making our making our more complicated things in an easy format. So in the sense that before usually people go to hospital far from their houses, but now we can have our healthcare facilities through internet. So that is how we usually help for telemedical authentication or telemedical distribution whole over India through digital platform. So that's the main important of this project is all about. It is all about telemedical, which I have given an introduction in previous video. So I should not have to waste my time on this. Okay, you might be having all the information regarding the telemedical application in my previous video. If you have any doubt, just watch the video. I'll be displaying in the screening guard, or you can say that in the card itself. Okay, so you might be having all the information regarding that. So then after project equipment, so how usually this project is helpful. So first is usually software which is usually required is LabVIEW. We are the requirement is all about Raspberry Pi. Then after it is been processed by different sensors. Okay, so sensors analysis, then after Internet of Things. So these three important things make my project much more easily displayable to the patient as well as to the doctor who are staying remotely and having the particulars okay, regarding this okay, so then after project design, or we can say that overflow design. So usually this project usually have two sensors application. What are the two sensor application? So one is all about this DS18B20 temperature sensor. Okay, then after ECG sensor, these two sensors will be connected to Raspberry Pi. Okay, these two sensors will be connected to Raspberry Pi, and that Raspberry Pi will be sending the data from the sensor to Internet of Things, or we can say that cloud. Okay, so then after from cloud we will be displaying it graphically in the LabVIEW interface. So in the LabVIEW interface we have two application. One is server application and there is client application. Server application in the sense whatever data received from the sensor will be processed by server. After serving we will be having the client application. Okay, so this is how the usual project application design flow usually looks like. Okay, so then after project layout, how much time usually it has taken me? Actually I have started in the month of December, in the month of December, yeah, in the month of December in 2019. Okay, so till April 2021 it has been in the process. Okay, so this is how the design overflow in different months I have displayed how actually it usually work for me to for the verification of hardware, implementation of hardware, software implementation, working project. Okay, it usually takes me these many days for my project to complete. So then after protocol presentation, so if I display this, it is all about hardware, software, and we will be having internet in the middle. So this is how we will be fetching the information from the sensors through through Raspberry Pi, from Raspberry Pi to internet, from internet to LabVIEW. This is how usually the medical data monitoring system usually works in the LabVIEW format. So I hope that you have got an idea about how actually it works. So then after you might be having the Raspberry Pi and LabVIEW. So when we comes for hardware interface about Raspberry Pi which I have used, so this Raspberry Pi usually has broadband BCM3 system which is usually integrated ARM processor. Then after if it comes for LabVIEW, it is a graphical user interface. For instrumental, for NI LabVIEW, we can say the national instrument. Okay, usually this platform usually give a virtual interface or graphical interface to the programmers.